Has anyone seen my Insomniac sign? I know I left it around here somewhere. Oh, no way. Is Spyro gonna fight ninjas? Oh my god, Spyro's fighting ninjas. Already the best game in the series. What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome to my Let's Play of Spyro, Year of the Dragon, the last in the PS1 Spyro trilogy, and ironically released on the Chinese Zodiac Year of the Dragon, year 2000, past February. Just imagine, if this was released 9 months earlier, it would have been the Year of the Rabbit, and it wouldn't have been nearly as cool because dragons are the best. Starting up a new game here, you can actually see different icons of the characters you can see in the rest of the game. Some of them came back from Spyro 2. I'm so happy to see them. They brought the best characters back. Let's go ahead and choose our buddy Sparks and get ready for a new adventure as an evil plot unfolds in the dragon world. Small Easter egg, if you pay close attention to the time of day in this picture compared to the actual cutscene, you'll see the time of day actually changes.
We managed to capture the eggs, Your Highness. Every last one.
Excellent. Maybe you will amount to something after all. Now, go guard the tunnels. Stop anyone from coming through.
Where are the eggs?
The holes came out on the other side of the dragon worlds. We found some of the eggs, but they were too heavy to carry back.
The other side of the world?
The Forgotten Worlds. Spyro, you'll have to go. Nobody else can fit down the holes.
Yeah, come on, let's go!
Find the eggs and bring them back, Spyro. You're our only chance.
You got it!
We have a brand new mission should we choose to accept it, and we will. We need to bring back the dragon eggs. And I hope Hunter's okay. We went down horns first. Hunter? Okay, you're fine. And I love how as soon as we get here, he just goes off and does his own thing. Bye, Hunter. And by the way, how did we get here? There are no holes in the sky from which we fell. There are no holes on the ground to where we came up here. I guess we just ended up teleporting. Anyway, welcome to Sunrise Spring, the first homeworld in Spyro 3. Being a collectathon, there are tons of things to collect, as you'll notice by all the gems scattered all over the ground. In this specific homeworld, there are 400 gems and 5 dragon eggs to collect. Those are the only things we'll have to collect. As far as difficulty is concerned, well, the Spyro games, and especially this one, the difficulty changes so much that I've decided to make up my own. So this level is literally death-proof. You cannot die in this one. It is that easy. Now that looks kind of familiar. I can't put my claw on it, but I guess we'll be back to pick that up. There's actually a joke I want to do with that. It's kind of funny how the scene plays out. The small changes from Spyro 2 to 3 are pretty nice. There's a small graphical update, as you probably saw in the cutscenes. They look a little better. And the camera. Pressing L2 and R2 can move the camera around regularly. If you hold down triangle, you can stop and look around up to a certain point. Spyro's not going to turn his head completely around. And one of the best things is L1 and R1 to snap the camera behind you. That is the greatest thing, especially in a platformer, being able to see. Oh no, we're going to be attacked by a Skittles commercial. Taste the rainbow!
So, you're the one in charge of rescuing the eggs, huh? How sad. Look here, Dragon. If you know what's good for you, you'll turn around and crawl back up that hole you came through. Those eggs belong to us now, and I've hidden them in places you'll never find in 1,000 years. Besides, even if you could find an egg, our expertly trained armies will dispose of you and take it back. Do I make myself clear? If I find you here again, I am going to be very angry, and you won't like me when I'm angry.
She was so angry the text couldn't even keep up with her. She finished her dialogue before the text did. Well, okay, she seems like a really powerful being. I guess we shouldn't find any eggs. Has it been 1,000 years yet? I found my first dragon egg. There are plenty of dragon eggs to find, and every single one is personalized with a name. So if your name happens to show up as one of these dragons, give yourself a shout out in the comments. I would love to see how many of you are named after these people. And what's kind of cool is every single name, almost every single name I should say, is part of the dev team. Going over the simple controls, if you press circle, you can shoot flames. Spyro being a dragon, of course he has flames. If you press the square button, you can do a charge. Charges are mainly for the smaller bad guys, while the flame is mainly for the big dudes. You can also jump, and pressing X again while in the air can make you glide, but we'll get more into that a bit later when Hunter gives us a tutorial. He's the master of that. And speaking of Hunter, there are a few characters that came back from Spyro 2, one of my favorites being Moneybags. Let's see what he has to say this time.
Spyro! My, how funny to see you here. Why, I haven't seen you since we defeated Ripto in Avalar. Well, my business went into a slump after you left, so I came here and struck up a nice deal with the local sorceress. Lovely woman she is. Seems to be very fond of dragons, too.
Oh, you don't say.
The sorceress has asked me to guard Sheila the kangaroo. I suppose if you had a bit more money, I'd be willing to let her escape. Then you could keep her for a pet or something.
All right, how much? 300 gems? Moneybags, I'm not made of money. It's not like the gems are strewn all over the ground. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, it's actually funny. Later on in the game, Moneybags will actually call this out, and the fact that there's money just lying on the ground, it's hilarious. So, up here, we've got our friend Hunter. Let's see what he has to say.
Yo, Spyro, I just found one of those portal thingamajigs that leads to a different world, but you'll have to glide to get across to it. Press the X button to jump, then press the X button again while you're in the air to glide. Just follow me.
Thank you, Tutorial Master Hunter. Hunter's like the best character in this game. He's such a goofy kitty.
I saw something shiny in that cave over there. Let's go check it out. You can get there by hovering. To hover, just press the triangle button at the end of your glide.
Hovering was the greatest thing added to Spyro 2, and thank God they brought it over for Spyro 3. It gives you that little extra jump. And Hunter, guess what? Who even needs your hovering?
Oh, I almost forgot. I found this egg.
Well, you must have found it on the ground with all the gems. And our new one is the Coal Train, baby! All these names can get really funny. Some of them are made up, I'm assuming. And you'll see what I mean a bit later. Again, shout yourself out if you happen to see your name. Oh, we've already got another world to go to. The bigger difference in scale, I guess I should... Oh, God, a dragon pun I unintentionally made. Probably one of the coolest things about Spyro 3 is everything is bigger. All the homeworlds, all the levels themselves, they're a lot bigger, and you'll notice what I mean a bit later. But with that, a couple, I wouldn't say sacrifices, but a lot of big changes have been made. A smaller change, though, is when it comes to power-ups. Now, in Spyro 2, you had to defeat a specific number of enemies for a power-up to work. In this one, they got rid of that. They actually went back to Spyro 1, where all the enemies have gems in them. This time, if you see a power-up, it's just automatically unlocked, which is very, very nice. And using our fly power-up, which is very, very limited, up here, we have another dragon egg. Amy! Spelled with an I. You don't see that very often. Something really funny with this fly power-up is if you hack your game to give you infinite flying, there's a lake later on that you can go into and you can glitch your game to the point of being able to walk underwater and use your flame normally underwater. It's pretty funny. I wish I could recreate it here, but there is technically no way for me to do it because trying to get out of here wastes all of the meter. And getting into another small staple of the Spyro franchise are the whirlwinds. They take you places you need to go, and that's it. Thankfully, they lead you in the right direction so you don't just fall down a pit. One more thing. This is a kind of a small, I wouldn't say an Easter egg, more of a good job, you found this. It's kind of hard to find at first glance, but if you take the fly power-up and come all the way out here, you get a free extra life. Extra lives represented by the blue butterflies, which Sparks will eat, and boom, another extra life. This game is kinda on the easy side starting out, so you'll probably notice by the end I'll have a lot of lives. Not saying it's a bad game because it's easy, more the range and difficulty continues to change, and you'll see what I mean. And Hunter, didn't we just see you back there? Wait a minute. Hunter, I'm seeing double, dude. I see two of you! Kind of a small limitation of the PS1 hardware. I guess they wanted to add two different sprites just to show that Hunter, he's a cheetah that's so fast, as soon as you turn your head, boom, he's in another place. Going over the different camera styles, Spyro 3's camera, it's kind of weird. Just with all 3D platformers, it's a little weird. Active mode goes a lot faster, but I'm going to stick with being able to use the L and R buttons. It just feels right to me. Something kind of cool from Spyro 2 to 3, in Spyro 2 you had to buy your moves. Well, Insomniac decided that was a dumb idea and let you keep all your moves from Spyro 2, like the head bash. Oh, this must have been Liam Neeson's proper reaction when they told him he had to do Wrath of the Titans. Moneybags had you buy the stupidest moves in Spyro 2. No longer. You get to keep everything. The head bash, the swimming, the climbing. Which is very, very nice. It makes sense. You already bought the moves, why would you have to do it again? Going over the health system, they're sheep. You kill them.
I'm late for a dinner party at the Tiki Lodge, and the portal to my home just stopped working. Maybe the portal will reactivate after a few more dragons hatch.
Interesting. So we need to collect eggs in order to activate portals. Seems reasonable. Hey, Hunter, did you know there are two of you?
I see an egg at the bottom of this lake. I would go get it, but I don't want to get my fur all wet. Maybe you could get it. You can dive underwater by pressing the square button when you're on the surface, and charge underwater by holding down the square button.
Being able to swim using some of the best water controls in any game? I will gladly take this. Yes, swimming in Spyro is nice and fast, and it actually works. That is the best thing. A small detail that Hunter forgot to mention is if you hold down the X button, you can actually, swim kind of slowly if you need to turn around or what have you. It is very, very good controls, and I love it to death. Aw, I was hoping for a great white shark.
Fish are friends, not food.
Awesome. We already have all the eggs, and we're pretty close to getting the rest of the gems. And just being able to pop out of the water, it's such a nice feeling being able to swim in this game. That is one of the greatest things, and I can't believe you had to buy the ability to swim in Spyro 2. Looks like we need 20 eggs to get to this level, and actually, I'll go ahead and spoil it now. It is a speedway. That is another returning aspect from any of the Spyro games. Test your might and flying ability. But now, let's go see what this guy over here has to say.
Here I was, about to go for a nice swim at Shell Beach, and my portal just disappeared right in front of me. If you go find some more of those dragon eggs, I bet this portal will turn on again.
I want to go to the beach. I wasn't able to have my proper vacation last time we were in a different place, so now I want it. Over here we have a Sparks sign. Believe it or not, you get to play as Sparks. Your health bar. You get to use your health as a playable character. We'll get more into that later. You actually have to hit the next home world before you actually get to play as Sparks. Alright, we are now done with all the gems. Now, in Spyro 2, they had a lot of fanfare for completing a level, but this one is just level complete. It's kind of eerie how it's just text. Do we have enough gems? Let's go and see if Moneybags will release this poor kangaroo. It's being held in a cage. It can't be comfortable. Moneybags, I have the cash.
I'm getting paid a fortune to keep Sheila the kangaroo locked up. The pesky animal must have been causing a lot of trouble for that poor sorceress. I suppose I could accidentally let the kangaroo escape if you were to pay me, say, a small fee.
Oops, I dropped the key. 300 gems? Yeah, sure.
Ah, Spyro, I love your sweet naivete. Your kind-hearted nature might be your downfall someday, but for the time being, it's making me rich.
You jerk. No hard feelings.
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
That's good of you, mate. No hard feelings, eh?
Right. After all, I'm just doing my job.
I reckon you'd be one of them dragons then.
Yeah, name's Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know. Then all of a sudden you left. Poof.
Dragons used to live here?
Didn't you know? They say it was over 1,000 years ago, I think.
And they just left?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, after they left, all the magic in the world just sort of went with them. I mean, they say this world used to have magic coming out the wazoo. Flying ships, singing forests, wishing stones, you name it. But when the dragons left, it all just dried up.
Is that why some of the portals don't work?
Yeah, they're starting to fade out too, one by one. Well, I gotta get back home and do some damage control. Come visit anytime you like.
The biggest critical thumbs up this game got was the inclusion of different playable characters. Instead of giving Spyro all the moves to play around with, they actually just added new friends to play around with. So now we have unlocked Sheila the Australian kangaroo and her Alp. And we'll be sure to pal around with her in the next episode of Spyro 3. Feels so good to finally be playing this. This is one of my favorites, and it's got the best ideas in the series. For better or for worse. Next time on Spyro You're the Dragon, we'll be heading into Sheila's Alp and see what she has to take care of. See you guys next time.